Okay, so I literally just walked in the door. um, how's everybody doing? Welcome to episode 168 of Randsanity. Um, the I made an attempt at pre-recording today, and I did. I pre-recorded the whole thing, and it was great. And I was editing it, and I realized that I did not have audio because I just used a single camera and not the system, so there was no audio. So I was like, damn it. So all my work for naught. And now for some reason I've got this on the screen, this frame of stuff, and I don't know how to make it turn off. And I literally just realized that as I walked in the door. So sorry, it's going to be annoying. I don't know how to turn it off. I can go with the other camera, then I'd have to look this way. And I don't have my notes in front of me that way, so I have to go back to this way. Sorry. Hope everyone had a wonderful day. I just got back from watching the Ohio State University play the UCLA Bruins. It was a great game. It was a beautiful night. Had amazing seats at a luxury box, so I got to meet and hang out with Stephen Webster, who is exactly as I thought he would be. He's definitely a rock and roll dude. I did not interview him. It did not seem like the time or place to do it. He's a big fan of Nick Cave, Sex Pistols, Ramones. He just is going to see Radiohead next week. And definitely very similar musical tastes. I will definitely connect and speak with him again. Anyway, so I just wanted to start this evening with something that I wanted to read that I found to be interesting, at the same time to be frightening, as well as a sort of a precursor for what's to come. A song created through artificial intelligence has made history, topping a Billboard country music chart. But it has also sent shockwaves through the music industry, with artists getting vocal about this AI-generated hit. The new country tune, Walk My Walk, by Breaking Rust, recently hit #1 on the Billboard's country digital song sales chart, reaching over 3 million streams on Spotify in less than a month. 3 million streams. Normally that would be something that when you get to 3 million streams, that's the kind of thing that an iHeartRadio would pick up and be like, this is a hit. So we'll play it on our radio station for a national audience. The success has garnered mixed reactions from music fans and artists alike, particularly on TikTok, where hundreds of users have posted videos addressing the tune and others discussing the music in the comments. I didn't listen to the song, so I can't tell you what they are, but I'm betting a lot of them are like, this is great. And I bet a lot are like, what the crap, man? This is bad. This is not good. You tell me. Billboard has acknowledged Breaking Rust is an AI act and said it is one of at least six to chart in the past few months alone. 6 to chart. Okay, I talk about albums that have charted, meaning they've shown up in the top 100. This one is now 6 have charted, and one of them has made it to the top of the charts. Ultimately, this feels like an experiment to see just how far something like this can go and what happens in the future and in other disciplines of this art as well. Senior entertainment reporter Kelly L. Carter told ABC News. AI artists won't require things that a real human artist will require. And once companies start considering it and looking at bottom lines, I think that's when artists should be concerned, rightly so, about it, she added. Rightly so. Think about that right there. AI artists won't require things that a real human artist will require. And once companies start considering it and looking at bottom lines, I think that's when artists should rightly be concerned. I mean, companies look at bottom lines constantly. They're not going to suddenly, well, we'll wait 6 months and look at bottom lines. They already are. When I was running a company, I looked at the bottom line every day. What can I do to be cheaper, faster, smarter? Think about how many creatives you can dump if you don't need to have an ad agency or a creative team or pay for music rights because, I don't know, you have some intern kid making them for you because this is a hit. This is great. And when it comes to artists won't require things that real human artists require, like what? A contract? A payment? A tour bus? All those things that people require? ABC News attempted to reach out to Breaking Rust's creator for comment, but did not receive a response. Of course not, because they're like, I made a hit to the haters. Because they don't care. They're probably not a musician. They're just someone that put together an algorithm, put some words down, and made a hit. And they're going to get paid. Paid! Paid big, probably. And it didn't cost them anything. It didn't cost them hardship or years of work. It probably didn't cost them, starting at the bottom, having to work their way up. They just generated something and it made a hit. So that's something, again, that AI artists won't require that a real human artist will. I just found it to be interesting, disheartening, scary, all of those things that I've kind of talked about when I talk about AI. Anduril is a huge sponsor of the Ohio State University sports. Anduril is building autonomous drones here in Columbus, Ohio. It is Cyberdyne Systems. They are building Terminator machines. I mean, they had just a full-size drone on display out in front of the St. John's Fieldhouse. I didn't take a picture of it because I didn't get a chance to. I will another day, but it's insane. It's a full-size war machine, just sitting there like a tank would be. But why build a tank at, I don't know, X millions of dollars? You can build this thing at disposable dollars. It's plastic. It's metal. It crashes, it blows up, you buy a new one. Or 100 new ones. So, yes, very frightening. Very, very frightening, this whole concept of AI and art. I mean, that's why the, film industry struck. The writers and the actors that went on strike a few years back because they tried to strike deals so this wouldn't happen. But again, companies start considering it and looking at bottom lines. The words are just, they're scary because it's exactly what it is. They will look at bottom lines. To say that they won't, that's ridiculous. They're going to, because that is how they're going to save money and make more profits for shareholders. So I don't know if we'll win or lose, but there'll definitely be winners and there will be losers. Just saying. Anyway, that was my rant for the evening. Episode 168 of the Randsanity. So we'll see. I'll be very curious to watch and pay attention to all things AI when it comes to the music industry and what we will see further down the road. What other genres they'll be able to capitalize on. Country's easy. It's an easier audience, I think. Not the listeners, but I think the songwriting is easier to capitalize on with the formula, the formatic process of artificial intelligence as opposed to some of the other musical genres. But that doesn't mean it won't happen. Just very interesting. All right, let's jump into it. Talk about history tonight in the rock world and such. Like I said, I had this all pre-recorded. It was great, but no audio. I would have just done my speech and hit play and eaten my cookie because I grabbed a cookie. I needed a little bit and a little milk after this football day adventure of food and such that I consumed. Anyway, so on this day, the 15th of November, Elvis Presley's first movie, Love Me Tender, premiered at the Paramount Theater in New York City. Now, this film was a Civil War drama, and it was going to be called The Reno Brothers. But when Elvis became a major star during the shoot, it was retitled after his hit song, with Elvis giving top billing. And the movie was then named, of course, Love Me Tender. I mean, why not? Elvis was in his heyday. He was peaking. Adjust for your audience. That's what we're doing with AI, right? 1959, Johnny and the Moondogs, basically the Beatles, played in the final heat of a TV star search competition at the Hippodrome in Manchester, England. Judging was done by the volume of applause each group received when it is called back onto stage at the end of the night. Since the Moondogs had no money to stay overnight in Manchester, they were forced to head back to Liverpool before they were called back onto stage. Now, how would that have worked out? Do you think they would have done well? Would they have won? I don't know. I don't know if they would have won as Johnny and the Moondogs. As the Beatles, maybe. But I wasn't a big fan of Johnny and the Moondogs. Rolling Stones' Brian Jones was admitted to Pasvant Hospital in Chicago with a temperature of 105 degrees, causing Jones to miss the last few dates on the Stones' current tour in 1964. Because I didn't have time to research, I don't know why he had 105 fever. I'm assuming he was sick. I mean, why else do you have 105 fever if you're well? As well as the Rolling Stones in 1965, they made their U.S. TV debut on Hullabaloo, performing Get Off My Cloud. Just like, get off my yard, you damn kids. Hullabaloo was an American one-hour musical variety series that ran on NBC from January 1965 through August of 1966. Hullabaloo. I like that. The Hullabaloo. I don't think I've ever seen Hullabaloo. I didn't look for it either, so I don't know. Now, this is a Florida thing for sure, because Janis Joplin was arrested during a gig in Tampa, Florida, after bad-mouthing a policeman and using vulgar and indecent language. Okay, now you tell me if you think this is vulgar and indecent language, okay? Joplin became upset after police moved into the hall, forcing fans to move back to their seats. As the singer left the stage, she confronted a detective, calling him a son of a bitch, and told him she would kick his face in. She was released on $504 bail. Now, I don't think that was vulgar and indecent language. Son of a bitch? I mean, I know it's 1969, but really? I think that had a lot to do with the artists and anti-war. But, I mean, this is also the state where, you know, Jim Morrison's about to be arrested and charged with indecent exposure to the point where he winds up fleeing to France and dying. So, who knows? In 1969 as well, the Carpenters released their debut album, Offering. It was later renamed as Ticket to Ride. This was done by A&M Records. The album was actually a commercial failure and produced only one minor hit, a ballad version of the Beatles song, Ticket to Ride. I imagine that's why they renamed it, because it sucked. Because who wants to think Offering? What the hell kind of an album is Offering? Unless you're a satanic cult worshipping, cult. Offering. Here. No, I don't see it. I don't feel it. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel love. In this week's Disc and Music Echoes Progressive Album Chart in 1971, number 5 came in as Cat Stevens with Teaser and the Firecat. Number 4 was Hawk Wind, In Search of Space. I don't know what that was. I would have listened to it if I had a chance to, but I didn't, because, like I said, my day was occupied by football game and re-recording all this for a second time. Number 3 was Santana. Number 2, Rod Stewart, Every Picture Tells a Story. And number 1 was John Lennon, Imagine. I don't know what Disc and Music Echoes Progressive Album Chart entailed, or if I've ever heard it before after this moment that we just discussed now. 1980, Blondie had their first UK number 1 single and their third number 1 of this year with The Tide is High, a song written by reggae star John Holt. It also became a number 1 in the US. Now remember, we talked about Blondie, how she got her name? Because she got catcalled by a construction worker on her way to CBGB's. And he said, "Hey, Blondie." She said, "I like it, and I'm going to go with it." Pop history was made when the top 5 UK singles were all female vocalists in 1986. Corinne Drury from Swing Out Sister, Mel and Kim, Suzanne Hoffs from the Bangles, Kim Wilde and Terry Nunn from Berlin. They were all number 1 with Take My Breath Away. Interesting. Top 5 UK singles, all by female vocalists. 1987, Dire Straits became the first act to sell over 3 million copies of an album in the UK. Brothers in Arms contained 5 top 40 singles: Money for Nothing, So Far Away, Walk of Life, Brothers in Arms, and Your Latest Trick. The album is the 8th best-selling album in UK chart history. It's actually a really good album. I mean, Dire Straits, I was never a huge fan of Money for Nothing. It's okay. For some reason, I don't know. I don't like the lyrics or something. I'll listen to it, but it's not like, I don't seek it out. So Far Away, Walk of Life, Brothers in Arms, and Latest Trick, those are actually really good songs. I mean, that's a really great album from 1987. It definitely has that 87 feel, and Dire Straits definitely has that sound. But highly recommended. Definitely one of the ones to listen to. Oh, the fake news, the hypocrisy, and all of the above. 1990, Milli Vanilli producer Frank Furran held a press conference to confirm the rumors that the 2 members of the group, Rob and Fab, had in fact not sung any of their hit records. Wah, wah, wah. And it's true, Milli Vanilli is a sham. They did not sing any of their own shit. They are Milli Vanilla, and they sucked. So there you go. It's the way it works. 1992, Ozzy Osbourne, rest in peace, announced his retirement from touring after a gig in California, saying, "Who wants to be touring at 46? Oh, Ozzy, 1992? You said you don't want to tour at 46? You toured till you died in 2025. You toured way past 46, way past 56, way past 66. That did not age well. Just saying, did not age well. The band TLC released their second album, Crazy Sexy Cool, featuring their hits Creep and Waterfalls. The group's most successful album has since sold over 15 million copies. This became and is the best-selling album ever by American Girl Group. American Girl Group. I guess group has to be in there because we'll see about something in a second. In 2000, winners of the MTV Europe Awards included All Saints for Best Pop Act. Ricky Martin won Best Male Artist. Madonna won Best Female Artist. Red Hot Chili Peppers won Best Rock Band. Blink-182 won Best New Act. New Act? Oh, right. It was in 2000. And Jennifer Lopez won the Best R&B Act. I didn't know that she was R&B, but I guess, sure, we can go with R&B. Also in 2000, Michael Abram, the Liverpool man who stabbed George Harrison after breaking into his house, was awarded a not guilty verdict at Oxford's Crown Court. Not guilty for stabbing George Harrison. But the verdict was returned in view of Abram's mental history, and he was taken into care. Taken into care. I really like how the English word thinks. He's taken into care. That means we're throwing you into a padded cell and locking the door, throwing away the key, you crazy nut job. Taken into care. Speaking of AI, The UK music industry made the decision to include compact computer downloads as part of the pop singles chart in an attempt to restore credibility to the top 40. OD2, the online music distributor, would compile the new chart with the official chart company. This was in 2002. So 23 years ago, they already were going ahead and doing things for computer downloads. Well, we're there now. 2005, Robbie Williams snubbed a Take That reunion. He was in the band Take That. When he decided to stay at his Los Angeles home. A behind-the-scenes TV documentary had arranged for all 5 members to reunite to coincide with the release of a greatest hits CD and DVD. I mean, I don't want it, dude. I'm just going to stay here in my LA mansion, so piss off, all of you. All right, this goes into the category of money not well spent, because you must have a lot of it. Kenneth Donnell from Glasgow spent, ready for this one, $99,000 for 2 tickets to see Led Zeppelin rehearse and perform at the O2 Arena in London on December the 10th in 2007. Donnell bid for the tickets as part of an auction for the BBC's Children in Need. Okay, I think that's a great thing. You gave $100K to charity. I mean, I can't hate on it, but wow, that's a lot of money for 2 tickets to go see a rehearsal of a band. I'm just saying. I'm sure there was other people there, like radio people, that got to go for free. Just saying. In 2007, Jay-Z went to #1 in the U.S. album chart with American Gangsta, his 10th #1 album. This made the rapper joint second with Elvis Presley for the most #1 albums on the chart. Only the Beatles have had more, with 19. Since 1989, all 8 of Jay-Z's solo albums have hit #1. In addition to his Collision Course project with Linkin Park and his unfinished business collaboration with R. Kelly, who in fact is still in jail and will remain there. Just saying. In 2007, the first episode of Daryl Hall's show, Live from Daryl's House, aired on the web, with Hall performing from his home in Millerston, New York. The series gained traction and was picked up by the Palladium Network. Over the years, Smokey Robinson, Joe Walsh, CeeLo Green, Rob Thomas, and many other musical luminaries have appeared on the show, performing a mix of their songs, covers, and Hall & Oates tracks. I like Daryl's House. It's kind of fun. If I was a musician, I'd probably have more followers because I'd be, doing Daryl's House as opposed to doing Randy's Basement. Just saying. Now, this again is, I'm sorry, this is money not well spent. In 2011, a cardboard sign reading "Bed Peace," created by John Lennon for his 1969 Bed in Peace protest in Montreal, was sold by Christie's auction house to an anonymous telephone bidder for, ready for this one, $155,600. $155,600. This not for a charity, to own a cardboard sign made by John Lennon. I mean, okay. It just seems like a lot of money. I just feel like some of these things, people spend so much money on stuff that does it have that much value? Does it really? 2015, trumpeter Miles Davis was voted the greatest jazz artist of all time by listeners of UK stations BBC Radio and Jazz FM. Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington, Ella Fitzgerald, Charlie Parker, and Billie Holiday also made up the top 10. But Miles Davis, greatest jazz artist of all time. You have to listen to a little of Miles Davis. He is pretty damn good, actually. Oh, let's see. 2018, American singer and music country star Roy Clark died at the age of 85 at his Tulsa home due to complications from pneumonia. He scored the 1969 U.S. hit single Yesterday When I Was Young and was best known for hosting Hee Haw, a nationally televised country variety show from 1969 to 1997. I had no idea that it went that long. 69 to 97? That's crazy. I didn't realize that it was almost 30 years. Hee Haw. And I've definitely seen a Hee Haw show. Just because, you're flipping around, chow's nothing else on, you hit it, you stay there for a few minutes, and you watch a little bit of Hee Haw. But I don't think I ever, watched the whole thing. So, all right, and this one I just had to because, Ticketmaster sucks. The pre-sale from Taylor Swift's Eras Tour crashed the Ticketmaster site, leading to frustration with fans and a federal investigation. Despite the problems, this is nuts, okay? 2.4 million tickets were sold. 2.4 million tickets were sold in a single day. A single day, 2.4 million tickets. The most for one artist ever in a single day. The Eras Tour became the highest grossing tour of all time and the first tour ever to surpass $1 billion in revenue. That's crazy. Speaking of $1 billion in revenue, in 2019, the Joker earned $1 billion on this day, 11/15/2019. It was the first R-rated movie ever to do so. I went and saw Joker as a preview, and I went to the theater during the day. I was the only one in the theater. I remember sitting back by myself and just engrossed in quiet. Put my feet up, sat in the front seat on the balcony and just kind of watched it. I remember it was so transformative that when I came out of the movie theater, it just felt like I sort of had to slap myself to wake up wow, that was just such a shock from reality. It was so well done. I definitely loved that movie. It was really good. And seeing it in a theater with nobody else, no distractions, there was no yelling, no screaming on the big screen. It was definitely surreal and amazing. I definitely enjoyed that. 1996, License to Ill is released as the Beastie Boys' debut album. It's the first rap album ever to reach number one on the Billboard charts. Amazing. That was such a good album. Beastie Boys were so good. License to Ill was such a good album. Definitely something to listen to if it's not in your repertoire. Put it in there. Put it on your Spotify list, your YouTube list, whatever you do. But License to Ill is definitely one that you want to have. It is definitely there. 1975. I had to hear it today, so it's so timely because for some reason, college kids sometimes have the worst musical tastes. Because I live near the university, I hear all the tailgate parties, and occasionally I hear oh yeah, you're playing good music. But I heard it today, so I had to bring it up because I was not going to. But on this day, Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys was released by Ed Bruce. Thanks so much, Ed Bruce. Go fuck yourself. Girl, you know it's true. Howdy! Me thinks this is pre-recorded. It's not, Todd. Now, I made so many references to you today in the pre-recorded one, it wasn't even funny because I forgot to turn the motor off for the regeneration of the heat. And it went off and I'm like, damn it, Todd. And while I wasn't paying attention, which I'm seeing right now, the camera shut off and I'm like, damn it, Todd. All right, so I'm going to again switch cameras because if I don't, then what's going to happen is it's going to turn off in 2 seconds. Ready? 1 click, see it turned off. So I totally got away with all of this, Todd, because you're here now. And the pre-recorded, Todd, nothing got away. So Todd, you didn't get the satisfaction of being referenced in the recorded because there was no audio, even though the edit came out great. I will say so myself. But yeah, I was like, damn it, seriously? I didn't have music. Such crap. Such crap. All right, birthdays today. Yaphet Kotto. You know who Yaphet Kotto is? He actually was in the James Bond movie Live and Let Die. And now I forgot who he played. But he played the one when they were the Fillet of Soul in New Orleans. And the guy that wheezed, Whisper. His name was Whisper. He also was in Alien. And he almost made it to the end. He made it almost to the very end of Alien. But then, of course, you know, everyone succumbed to the alien except for Sigourney Weaver. So, Yaphet Kotto birthday today. Also, Sam Waterston from Law and Order. He was the prosecutor. Jack, what's his name? From Law and Order. That his birthday was again today, too. Randy Savage today. Now, it's funny because Randy Savage today, I went to the football game today and I met, I saw somebody I knew, his name is Randy, and then there was a third, he goes, this is another guy named Randy. So there was three of us. How rare is that? The three Randys standing together. So I was like, hey, Randy, and all three of us went, what? All at the same time. We all kind of looked at each other like, okay, that was actually really funny. It was one of those things where I wish I could have recorded at that moment because it was just, we all just like, what? Sort of all sharply like, what do you want? We're talking here. But happy birthday to Randy Savage, who died. I know. Petulia Clark, she sung the song Downtown when you're in moods and blah, 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 blah. Downtown. I didn't listen to the song, so I don't know the lyrics right now. Sorry. And also Jimmy Ellis from Disco Inferno. Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno. That's a really fun song. Anna Fried Linderson from ABBA. I'm sorry. I'm butchering their names. I can't speak foreign languages, especially not at the moment. So, yeah. Stephen Fossen from the band Heart. And now I was like, wait, I had to go back and look. Because we just talked about ODB, Old Dirty Bastard, who died of death by misadventure because he had chest pains, but then it also said he did lots of drugs that day. So I'm thinking it was an overdose, but we'll say death by misadventure. But it's Old Dirty Bastard's birthday. But I was like, wait a second. His birthday's the 15th, and when he died on the 13th. So he falls into the 10% category where you die really close to your birthday. Poor ODB. So it's his birthday, not his death day. His death day was actually 2 days ago. So that's why we talked about ODB. And I was like, did the whole thing on him. And now, in the death category, this is the epitome of irony. I didn't find anybody of great significance that I found on the death list. So I only found one. And her name was Evelyn Venable. She was apparently the model for the Paramount Pictures Torch Woman. But she also starred in one movie. And the movie she starred in was Death Takes a Holiday. Apparently it did not take a holiday because she in fact still died. Right? I mean, it took a holiday, just not on that day apparently. What are you going to do? All right, there it is. The pre-recorded part did not happen, so you got lucky. It was fun. I did a whole fun thing. It had fun edits. Well, I was going to make fun edits because then after I did the first edit of the first section, I was like, wait, there's no audio here? And I went back and like, no, it's not. I'm like, what? Oh, damn it. It's like the cameras don't have any kind of microphone to them. So I was like, oh, I guess that's a problem. because they have to have external mics on these cameras. And if they don't, then they don't work. So I don't know what the hell I did wrong. And I don't know what the hell I did to have this stuff on the side. And I don't know how to get rid of it now. Crap. I'll turn the power off. I'll turn the power back on. I'll see if I can make it work. I don't know. Otherwise, I'm going to have this stupid border of information forever. I mean, I pushed buttons and I pushed more buttons and it didn't make them unpush. So I hope everyone had a great Saturday. It was definitely unseasonably warm today and it was lovely. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I accomplished a lot. I got up super early. I was out the door by 8 o'clock this morning. I went and did a project. I put a cat door in someone's porch. Don't ask me. They have feral cats. They want to keep nice and warm in the winter. So they had a sealed porch where there had been a door at one point. So I cut the opening. I made it a hinged door. There was a cat carrier inside there. And then I made a little flappy door so the cats can go in and out and stay out of the weather. I think that's very nice. I varnished a second floor, the entire second floor. I varnished. I finished the bathroom. I put a new sill, like a door sill in. I fixed another door that was not closing properly. I did some trim work. I did some painting. I had a full-ass day, and that was all this morning. And I had to drive. I went down to the station. I had to go to Lowe's. I went to Menards. I'm telling you, I was just on my A game today. And then I did the pre-recording, and you don't get to enjoy it because I crapped it out by not doing audio. But at least I know I can do it. So it's a step in the right direction. You did get a new title page, if you noticed. I did that with the help of artificial intelligence. I went to CapCut, and it said, make me something fun. And maybe something fun. I don't know. I didn't love it. It just was there, and it was something I put up to deal with quickly and easily. So that's what I did. So if you didn't like it, feel free to comment. Tell me it sucks, and that's okay. I appreciate all the comments, even if it's the you suck comments. I don't take it personally. And I won't be crying in my milk later. All right, I might. Probably not. Just saying. Anyway, I appreciate you for being here. I hope you had a great Saturday. I hope you have an excellent Sunday. I look forward to tomorrow night. I'm going to spend a little bit of time tomorrow doing some stuff with this. I'm going to try and create a new title card. And I'm going to try and pre-record some stuff just because. Maybe do a little pre-recorded things that are out of this space that I can start to inject in here as I'm trying to grow this a little bit more from my one viewer tonight. I did get a like, so thank you. Please make sure you comment. I always appreciate that. Todd is always commenting. But yes, make sure you turn notifications on. That way you get notified when this happens. And anything I can do to make the algorithm love me more, because it doesn't love me yet. Or if people do love me, they check it out and be like, wow, this guy sucks, and they leave. So what do I have to figure out that makes me suck less? I'll work on. But until then, I will just suck and the chaos will continue, and hopefully we'll find a happy medium somewhere. Thank you, friends. Appreciate you. Grateful for all of you and grateful for every day. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow on the 16th for episode 169. You know what we're going to do? We're going to push the button and we're going to fade to black. I'm going to have a cookie. I'm excited to eat a cookie. Oh, man. I am out of breath from running here.